Opus 26 is a piece I have a special fondness for because I learned it when I think I was 10 years old. It was the second sonata I learned. I sort of shudder to think how I must have played it at that point. But it's less than a year later than Opus 22. It was written, within the same calendar year for the most part. Yeah, a whole world of difference. It's part of a series of 4 sonatas. This one, Opus 26, the 2 sonatas, Opus 27, which are both called Quasi una Fantasia, and Opus 28, which are all incredibly experimental in terms of form and structure. This is the first sonata he ever wrote that doesn't begin with a sonata form movement. It begins with a set of variations in a slower tempo. Very beautiful. Extremely sort of almost gallant in character. And it's interesting, Chopin, who is one of the only great composers in history to not have liked Beethoven, loved this piece. This was the only sonata that he actually would admit to having admired, and it's surely not a coincidence that he also wrote a sonata with a funeral march. This is sometimes known as the funeral march sonata because it contains, as a slow movement, a funeral march, which Beethoven actually did ultimately transcribe for orchestra and was played at his own funeral. So it's actually a piece that has a sort of historical significance in his life as well. But people say about the Chopin Funeral March Sonata, it's a remark quoted from Schumann, that it's not really a sonata at all, it's 4 of his wildest children somehow stuck together. And there's a kernel of truth about the Beethoven Funeral March Sonata as well, that the tonality of all 4 movements is the same, it's all A flat major or minor, but there is a sense in which, certainly if you look at the template that he had established in the earlier pieces, it doesn't conform to his idea of what a sonata was at all. The 4 movements are all very different. There's no sonata movement to unify the piece, and yet somehow these 4 strange children feel perfectly appropriate together. It's a very, very special piece. Most of it is this extremely loving, amabile quality, which I find is not the first characteristic that one would associate with Beethoven's music, and makes it very special.